Welcome to another episode of Midday Music. I've got a big announcement about Midday Music, and I'll give it to you at the end, so make sure you stick around. Here we go. Today's theme is blessing, and I guess blessing and faith. We'll get to it. The reading is from Deuteronomy, but first, here's some music. My vision, O Lord of my heart, not be all else to me, save that thou art, thou my best thought, by day or by night, waking or sleeping, thy presence my life. Be thou my wisdom, and thou my true word. I ever with thee, and thou with me, Lord. Thou my great Father, and I dwelling, and I with thee all the while. Riches I heed not worldly praise. You're my inheritance now and always. You and you only, first in my heart, High King of heaven, my treasure thou art. Walking or sleeping, thy presence my life. Be thou my vision. All right. Our next song today I already had pre-recorded, so I'll just let you watch that. It is 10,000 Reasons.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship his holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul. I'll worship your holy name. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing your song again. Ever may pass, and whatever lies before me, let me be singing when the evening comes. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship his holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul. I'll worship your holy name. You're rich in love, and you're slow to anger. Your name is great, and your heart is kind. For all your goodness I will keep on singing. 10,000 reasons for my heart to find. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship his holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul. I worship your holy name. And on that day when my strength is failing, the end draws near and my time has come, still my soul will sing your praise unending. 10,000 years and forevermore. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship his holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul. Worship your holy name. Oh, worship your holy name. Lord, I worship your holy name.
So, our reading today is from Deuteronomy chapter 11, verses 13 through 19. And it goes like this. So if you faithfully obey the commands I am giving you today, to love the Lord your God and to serve him with all your heart and all your soul, then I will send rain on your land in its season, both autumn and spring rains, so that you may gather in your grain, new wine, and olive oil. I will provide grass in the fields for your cattle, and you will eat and be satisfied. Be careful, or you will be enticed to turn away and worship other gods and bow down to them. Then the Lord's anger will burn against you, and he will shut up the heavens so that it will not rain on the ground, and the ground will yield no produce, and you will soon perish from the good land the Lord is giving you. Fix these words of mine in your hearts and minds. Tie them as symbols on your hands and bind them on your foreheads. Teach them to your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. And those words, again, of course, are love your God and serve him with all your heart and with all your soul. Now, this is a pretty straightforward reading, I think. But there is one verse that I want to kind of zoom in on a little bit, and that is verse 16. Be careful, or you will be enticed to turn away and worship other gods. I think this speaks to our very human tendency that when things are going well, we tend to reward ourselves for the good choices that we made by making bad choices. I think it's a very human thing. Lots of people do it, especially when you're trying to make changes in your life, like maybe you're trying to cut down on cigarettes or alcohol, eat healthier, maybe add some exercise into your schedule, or just practice being more open and accepting to folks who are different from you. It is hard to change any behavior that we've become, comfortable with. And it's very easy to be tempted to reward all of your hard work with a cheat day or a rest day. And to be fair, the cheat days and rest days are not necessarily bad. In fact, in moderation, they can be very good for mental and physical health, but you have to get back on the horse. Otherwise, you'll just coast right back into the behavior that you were trying to change. So this reading really kind of warns against complacency. And on the subject of the gods that you'd be turning to, be careful or you will be enticed to turn away and worship other gods. I don't think anybody's assuming that we're going to, be overwhelmed with how good things are going and go, this is really great, but I just kind of feel like God had nothing to do with it. It was probably Odin and Thor. No, gods in the lowercase g sense isn't really it's probably not the most productive reading of this for a modern audience. It probably makes more sense for us to think about it like worldly distractions. So basically, don't be enticed by worldly distractions. If instead you faithfully obey the commands he has given us, then he will send rain on your lands in its season, and you will eat and be satisfied. So love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul, and may you be blessed. Our next song is Love the Lord Your God. And remember, I've got an interesting announcement about Midday Music coming up at the end. Be right back.
praise you. I will serve you. I will serve you. I will trust you. I will trust you with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, with all my strength, with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, with all my strength. I will love you, Lord, with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, and with all my strength. I will love you, Lord, with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, and with all my strength. I will love you, Lord, with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, and with all my strength.
So, the big announcement is that Midday Music is going to switch to a once per week frequency. John and Kip and I will still be doing it on a rotating schedule, and we'll be inviting other members of the music department to join us throughout the summer, at least. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be on Wednesdays at 12:10, starting next week, going forward, Wednesdays at 12:10. Next week will be Kip. It's his regular time. But then after that, like I said, it'll rotate between all of us and some new faces that haven't been here before. But no change this week. Kip will still be here tomorrow at 12:10 to play the organ, and John will still be here on Thursday to sing and play guitar and harmonica and probably saxophone. So, looking forward to that. Also, as you probably heard on Sunday, we're going to be we're going to be switching the 10:30 service to 10:45, and we're expecting to have live musicians at both of the services whenever possible. But in order for that to happen, we might need to find some more musicians whenever it's a contemporary Sunday. So if you play guitar or drums or know somebody who does, feel free to send me an email, and I'd be happy to talk to you about that opportunity. If you're already in the band, don't worry. We need you. But if you're not and you've had an interest in joining, now's a great time. So I hope you've had a chance to relax and recharge this afternoon and enjoy the music. So I hope that you all have a great afternoon and a great week. God bless.